There we go. OBS decided to once again lose the device for the microphone. So, here we go. Ahoy, ahoy, divers. Let's end the stream and restart. Ahoy, divers, and welcome back to Deep Dive Gaming. I am the Mariner, and we are returning for more satisfactory gameplay with a satisfactory... And is our audio working? Looks like the game audio is working. Ahoy Twitch, ahoy YouTube, ahoy Rumble, ahoy Mojo, and ahoy Marina Kitty. We had a bit of a late start because I did something stupid that I will not go into. But here we are and we have our steel factory made. Did I label it? I might have forgotten to label it. Yep, I didn't label it. So this is our steelworks. Right now it's running on bioenergy because I had plenty of biofuel that I wanted to use up. But we got 240 coal from here, and we've got 240 iron from here being pressed into ingots that go down into these to make... some sort of steel ingot. Let's see which recipe are you using? Solid steel ingot for for more production, and then we're feeding those into other foundries that do molded steel beams and molded steel pipes, which requires concrete. And we're using a wet concrete recipe. Finally found a use for the wet concrete recipe, because this thing was not this particular miner was not producing enough limestone to make enough concrete to feed these guys. So I decided to use the wet concrete recipe in refineries to supply enough concrete. It actually worked. So anywho, the last thing I want to do here is get some power from well, actually, we could probably just leave it cook. Once this runs out, then we'll be able to, then we can run back over here, and I will run power from this geyser over here, and then probably from this geyser over here, and maybe even this geyser over here. I am also thinking I'm going to abandon my nuclear power plant. I just don't like the fact that I've got nuclear waste or uranium waste being spat out that I can't do anything with. Whereas if we convert it to like a place for drone fuel construction, i.e. uranium rods that can be burned without having waste, that would be awesome. So we're going to do that instead. So anyways, let me label this really quick. And I think I've got enough room to be able to expand this. So if we need more steel later on, we can make it. Let's see, really surprised they don't need glow-in-the-dark numbers painted on anything. Maybe. Maybe that's something we'll look at. Select color, far apply. Okay. So anyways, the reason I made the steelworks, other than for the fact that I need steel, was I was in the middle of putting together my Alumina works, which I really should relabel that. As I was doing Alumina over here. Come on. I want this. And I was trying to route power over to where I have my water extractors, and came to find out that power pole, or the power towers, required steel to be built. Color me shocked. Something I kind of thought I should have known, but didn't actually remember. So yeah, we had to stop and we had to go make a steelworks plant so that we could finish our Alumina works plant. So let's head back and I'll show off the Alumina works plant. And these are more permanent plants that I'm going to be using for production. Like the steel will be shipped off somewhere to make things. The alumina will be shipped off to make things. I have, where is it? My ironworks plant still and my copperworks plant still, but those I think I'm going to have to tear down and rebuild in better locations. The ironworks isn't in a bad spot necessarily, given the fact that there's lots of room here, but I don't know, still don't know about shipping anything out of that location, just because walls and cliff sides and high slopes. So what I may end up doing, besides that one was built with specific intentions of building the encased beams and also supplying stock. We'll probably set up something a little more permanent and largely productive for ironworks, like plates, rods, reinforced plates, modular frames. And we'll be shipping out the modular frames probably to the same place that we ship out some of the steel, because I think we need steel in order to make the heavy modular frames. But the intention right now is to get alumina production going, because that is the first one of the first ingredients needed to make the nuclear pasta. Oh, I should probably show off. I should probably point out I've got a copper powder factory over here that, for words, if I had gone directly from here, no, I guess I'll show it off. Currently it is unpowered and therefore not running, but it's all set up and ready to go when we have something, or when we get to the point where we need to deliver copper powder. And honestly, it's not that interesting of a factory. I think it's just a copper mine that's overclocked and then sending all the copper ore to constructors for grinding. Where's that? Oh, it's only set for medium range. Okay. Wow, even long range doesn't show up. Shoyash. We have multiple irons, pardon the pun, in the fire while we work on getting our nuclear pasta. But we are finally working towards the nuclear pasta. Because I was getting bored. Not necessarily bored, but I was getting increasingly upset with the results of the nuclear power plant. Or increasingly obsessing over the fact that I couldn't do anything with the uranium waste. Because while I could set it up to do something about the uranium waste, I'm still stuck with having to deal with the plutonium waste. And I'm like, it's an endless cycle of It's almost as complex as building parts for the project assembly. In fact, in ways more so. So I was like, it's not necessarily required. I mean, at some point it's going to be required because I think the particle accelerator requires a lot of power to run, in which case the nuclear power plant might be required, but we're not there yet. Doobie doobie doop doobie doobie doop. Oop, I see cable. I think we're almost there. Yep, here we go. And then also, I should point out that because I've got all of these geothermal geysers going, I've actually got a fair amount of distributable power all over the map now. So I might be able to pull a good portion of everything off by just tapping those. But at some point, I imagine I still will need to have fuel power generators. See, we got 48 going out. And look, I was industrious. I made catwalk. So yeah, all these guys are being fed. Because I think that's copper. I think this is iron over here. Yes, because what we're doing is we're using the copper alloy ingot for maximum output of copper ingots, and then those get fed into here for copper powder. That's pretty much all that's here. Once we get a little further along here, we will bundle this up, stick it into storage, probably even dump it into cloud storage just because, and then ship it off. We'll be all set to ship it off somewhere. Or there's so much iron here in this area that I might be able to utilize it to manufacture some of the stuff I need for the nuclear pasta, in which case other things might import to here instead of the other way around. But we'll find out when we get that far. Right now, let's get the alumina. See, there's 1, 2 nodes right there, and I think there's like 2 more. Boing. But yeah, yesterday I was feeling pretty run down. I was also like in between project, or not in between project, but I was like in the midst of trying to do the steelworks factory, and I'd done like, it took me like 3 revisions before I got something I was happy with. So I was like, we'll use the iron. We have to use the iron and the coal to make the steel ingots. But can we increase our yield? So I did some research and was like, oh yes, we can use the iron ingot, or the solid steel recipe, which means I need to produce iron ingots, which means I need to figure out where that's going to factorize. Then I had to figure out the layout a couple of ways. Like, took me a couple of tries to figure out the layout. And then I realized, oh, I don't have enough concrete for the... Because at the same time I decided I was going to do the... Or almost at the same time I decided I was going to do the solid steel, I also decided I was going to do the molded recipes, which I realized didn't need concrete, which then I realized limestone, which I was like, well, there's a node right there. But then I just did like the basic mine into constructors, call it a day, and I'm like, oh, that's not enough. So anyways, here's our alumina. So as you can see, we got a couple or 3 geothermals. We have a mine of some sort over there. Which one is that? Also using power switches. Once I get the power, I will start that up. Oh yeah, that's right. This is coal. So the coal is coal and the bauxite are going to load into, well, the bauxite first is going to load into here. It's going to produce the alumina solution, 240 per minute. That's going to go in here to combine with the coal to make the 360 alumina scrap per minute times 4. So we're going to get plenty of scrap. And then I've got a chart of how to do this with 0 waste. So over here, and this is where I got tangled up because I didn't have the steel to make the power pole to run over here. I did a little pipe running along the river. To here where I've got these guys. I don't remember if you remember how much trouble I had load balancing the alumina last time, but I found on the wiki for Satisfactory a way to do it. So that's how we're going to do it. But I need power over here for the water. How was your weekend, Mojo? Did chaos reign, or did you have a nice, relaxing weekend? Where's that power pole? Or power tower? I thought I had another power tower. Maybe I was running the power tower. Nope, I did not make a power tower. What? Wait, last week ended? Oh no, that's not a good response. Has it been consistent Mondays for you for the past few weeks? That should do it. Just need to find a spot. I thought I'd done a power tower over here somewhere, but I guess I did not. How's the range? We'll just grab this and see how far we can reach before we have to make an intermediary. Looks like that's as far as we can go. Ooh, put in that little dimple right there. Nice. Oops. Just a bunch of calling people out on their BS. Oh, that's right. You were having school issues last week, weren't you? Okay. Can we find the other side? There it is. There it is. Ta-da! Okay. How are we gonna do this part? Because I need. Oh. Let's see, I guess we can run one cable directly there. Right. And then the other one's probably gonna have to be like over here. Probably just drop it in the middle of the pond here. There we go. All right. I was playing with the idea of putting those things along the river here, and I did figure out that they would fit, but connecting them up was going to be difficult, so I figured I'd just leave it. And then we're also utilizing an underneath. So the pattern I saw called for 180 in, but only to one of these guys. The other three would be fed by the 4 refineries that are making the scrap. So that's what we did. So now I've got... I think I've got everything... I've almost got everything rigged up. I just got to get the bauxite rigged up. And the coal rigged up. Let's see. this can go here, because this will be off of this power switch. I really need to build a land bridge over here. Okay, anyways, this power switch does everything for the bauxite. I've got another switch over there for turning the bauxite miner on, which I could probably actually flip. No, I think this one I'd have to unflip first. Yeah, if we unflip that, so everything involved with Alumina solution is now on this power switch. The coal mine is going to be on this power switch. And then I think if I do another switch over... no, never mind. Then I figure we could do another power switch here for the scrap. I'm just going to leave it all in one switch. I think that's the best way to go. That's on its own switch, but only because it's all the way over there. Alright, let's rig up the bauxite. So I can have these pipes over the top because there's not going to be any feeding. Actually, no, there is going to be in there. There's coal feeding into these. Duh. But that's on an elevated platform, so we could probably have all these on an elevated. But bauxite first. Doop 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 doop. This one's going to be the hardest for transporting material out, because this one might require drones. So at some point I'll probably be rigging that up. Converting the nuclear power plant we had cooking to be just uranium cores for drone transport. And then I think we're going to also daisy chain. And the daisy chain is going to involve some... So, with drones... No, actually, drones have inputs and outputs, don't they? So I don't have to worry about accidentally picking up something from one space that's supposed to go on to another space. What was I looking at? 180 per minute. Okay. So I need to have a Mark III. Actually, these need to have also Mark III. But yeah. I think that's fine. So we would just need to make sure that if we're dropping off fuel, that it goes out. So yeah, the one port will go to another port, which will deliver the fuel. The fuel will then pipe into the fuel, whatchamacallit, which will then power the drone from that port, flying the materials we're transporting to the next, hence daisy chaining. We'll find out how well that works. That way I don't need to have like there's fuel import feeding exports, unless I have multiple exports. I don't know, it's weird. I just wish drones could deliver to more than one station at a time, or more than one station. I think they can. I think they can go multiple stops. But I can't remember the last time I did it, how well that worked. I think I tried it once. So it's like home base, port A, port B, back to home. I think it worked, but I can't remember. Alright, so this is the bauxite. Okay, so let's worry about the coal next. The coal. Ahoy, Marcus Milligan on the YouTube side. Welcome to Deep Dive Gaming. And this is a very cool game. It's called Satisfactory. And I have very satisfying times playing it. Okay, that's going to be too high. $240, so that's going to be a Mark III. That's not going to work. Why is this not working? It would have to be a thing where they pick up at location A, then drop off at location B, and pick up new product at station B. Yeah. Something like that. I've done it. We'll figure that out when we get there. Oops. I think my power just ran out at my steel works. So we'll have to go back there here in a little bit. We got enough steel, I think, to get us through for now. I mean, we produced a lot of steel. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 tall. Maybe 4 tall after we get. Actually, I think we could probably cut across here. Or not. Bimmer. I think I know the solution for this. No! Why did you do that? No zooping. Well, I guess you can zoop. Zooping in this case is acceptable. Oh no, it cuts through a thing. Oh, come on. Did I show you off this trick that these things double as ladders? just so that we can climb and see how our level our things are. This now goes over the wire. I haven't got a spot where we can do a intermediary one, but that's okay. What is that piston looking through? That's the geothermal. This has a geyser underneath it. And then it's doing some piston-y thing powered by the pressure of the geyser. Geothermal normal. That's why it's called the geothermal generator. Does that look even? I don't think that does. I think that looks even. Oh, and just as a reminder, there's no stream of consciousness tomorrow night. And I'm probably not going to stream either. Because there's something else that I was reminded this evening, or reminded earlier today, exists. Or not exists, but that I wanted to do. So it works out that there's no stream of consciousness tomorrow night. I just need to remember to send Hero a reminder note to fix his mixer. That looks even. So let's see if we can figure this out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. We assume that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that might be high enough. Let's find out. Well, yes, it's straight with this one here. This one, however, is not even with that one. But that's okay, because that's not even with the one behind it either, so. But because this is so tall, we're going to use some of these to help it look like it's supported. Actually, I wonder what it would look like if we did this and stayed, because we want to support that too. It looks like it would interfere with the elevator. Even if we did it there, I think it would, so. Meow! I might do, because I did this trick at the copper production. I discovered that these ladders work great as little supporty thingies. If you can get it to line up with the underneath, like that. It looks like it's helping to support the weight. So ladders are not just functional, they're also good for decoration. See, what did I say? 1, 2. How much are these taking in per 120? Okay, we need to level up these guys to level 2. That one might be a little too high. Nope, that's right. Yeah, that's even. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I just realized I don't think I'd make the, nope, I did you, not you. Okay. Actually, since this one's only going to be 120. $120 per minute times 4. 480. This thing was this thing spitting out 480? I can't remember. I don't think it was because we were only using level 3 whatchamacallums. Nope, 480 right there. Off to the side because we have this overclocked. That means we're going to need Mark 4 bolts. I need to finish my decorations. Ah. There we go. Might also do... scaffolding, but where? Will it fit? It will fit. That means we got easy access if we want it. Woohoo! Oops. I don't know if I should be fussed about that or not. I don't think I do, but I'm gonna fix it anyway. do a T. Oh, the stairs. Oh. Pooh. Okay, now finish the decorations here. Should really make the scaffolding without the railing. Just have to, I always have to get on top of the railing when I'm doing stuff like this. That's not right. That's also not right. It needs to go a little bit to the left. Ah, come on. There. Come on. Wonder if it'll let me. Nope, I'd have to rip it out and start over again. Ooh, first try on that one. Oh, first try on that one. Alright, so that's the box I hooked up. That's the coal hooked up. I believe our recipe is set. That's part of the pattern too. This one needed to only be 10%. So that's set. Oops. Should probably do more catwalks over that bunch. This is this. Oh, hello. It's a good thing I checked with it and didn't just turn it on. Oh no, are you gonna be like that? Why are you not letting me hook you up? Ah. Why? Ah, come on, come on, come on. Oops. See if any of the others will let me do it. See, that'll work. That one works. That one works. Why did you not work? And this should just hook up to there. And then, because I'm not sure on the output whether it's going to be more than 300, I put 600 cubic meter per minute piping in the middle. And then, like I said, those go and feed the other 3 of these guys. So that produces our scrap. That's the second time that person's shown up. Or that bot has used that name. So I remember the same epic on the last Discord bot. Okay, so that's the next situation to solve is where is all the scrap gonna go to make the alumina whatnot. Oop, as I fall off a cliff. Originally I thought maybe over there, but now I'm not so sure. It's like the 4th one that's come up as a yeah. I think they'd just be like on possible ban evader. Well, let's just err on the side of caution and not have him show up. So, like I said, there's this area here where we could send all the aluminum scrap and then we can make it into the various things we need. But I was thinking about it because of the issue we'll have with transport over here. I'm wondering if we could send it down there somewhere. Like see if there's a flat area somewhere down here where we can do some alumina, turn the scrap into usable alumina. I'm not seeing much hope for that. I mean, maybe over here beyond these trees. Seems like an awful long way to go for the aluminum scrap, though. Also, there's that cool little underhang. So yeah, yeah, this is indeed a flat area over here. It's not too long of a journey from up there. I mean, I've fed copper from over longer distances than that. Someone gave me a sippy can. Or someone get me a sippy can. So I just drooled all over myself. Dribble cup, that's the name of it. The one, the practical joking one where it's like you drink and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I think that might be what I do. I'll just use a conveyor belt to send it all the way out there. Because that does look like it'd be easier to transport from. Because even if we get something up here, the track would have to like cut over the pipe that we ran from this area. And it's just... I don't think there's a lot of reason to bring a train all the way up here. But there's more reason to bring a train along, like come in from the east side maybe, and pick up some stuff before heading over. And then there's a path down this. There's a path down over here. But actually, no, that's... No, yeah, that's right. That path, so it could be like, go across the river, come across this way, pick up the materials. Actually, what does that look like over here? Oh, actually, I think that's probably a better area over here. We got a few itty bitty ponds to play with, but nothing too bad. That avoids having to go around the trees. Yeah, we'll run over this way. That's more in line with this. We could do... Probably do some kind of ramp down to here. And then a ramp down to, or do a drop down to there. We'll need to eliminate these poles, though, or these smokestacks, whatever you want to call them. Yuck! That might be the only one we need to eliminate, but we'll... Whoops. Whee! Did that work? Yes, yes it did. Sweet. See if we can reach that one down there from here. Whee! Nope. Actually, so guess what I found? Or I befriended a couple of Whoops. Oh, come on. How do I select that? I befriended a couple of lizard doggos. And one of them... How do I select my thing? They gave me a nuke nobelisk. I just need to figure out how to select it. Ah, it's not the button I wanted. Come on, stop it. What's the button for the Nobelisk? Let's see. Control key bindings. Let me Google it really quick. Select, let's see, satisfactory. Select Nobelisk. Hold R to reload. I'm holding R. That did nothing. Oh, come on. There we go. Didn't hold it long enough. No, come on. Alright, so I'm gonna do a save right before I do this, just in case things go sideways. Then we'll see how far I can chuck this. Yeah! About that far. Oh. Wait, that's it? What? That was a bit of a letdown. Yes, we're aware of that. Alright, so we're gonna just do a beep, 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 beep. Oopsie. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Ow. These things hurt, man. So actually we might just... Oops! That's not what I wanted at all. Let's just be content with where that's going to try and place that nuclear obelisk between those four thingies and just call it good. Yeah. Or next to them. Really? Got the big giant rock, but that's it. I have to go down and place it and then run away and then detonate it. Place it more carefully. Ah, just kidding. So let's put it here. That's not far enough away. Whee! And kaboom! Still very... I mean, a mini nuke in Fallout has more destructive power than that. We're gonna need to make more of these soon. That's not far enough. Oh, dead on target. Still not enough. There we go. That works. Ow. Wow, this one got missed even? Jeez. I've been jilted. Alright, so that's oh, there it is. Right, now we just gotta figure out how to get it all down there. And then get set up, get the rest of it set up. We almost didn't clear that. That was a close one. Alright. So each of these guys is spitting out 360. And there's 4 of these. The max that we can do for a conveyor is Mark 5 that does 780 per minute. 780 divided by 360 is 2.1. So we could do 2 per conveyor down to the floor there. So we're going to put a... And this is probably going to be more alumina than I should even be worrying about. Like I may have over-engineered this one just a teeny bit. But why nothing is quite as satisfying as the Fallout mini nuke. True. Okay, here comes the challenging part. To make the best mess. Especially when you can shoot them in while they're in the hands of a super mutant. Because we all know Mojo likes her splodies. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is a little bit of... I won't call it sleight of hand, but we're going to do a little bit of verticality. so that we can do some alignment here. Something that surprised me in Dragon Age Origins, I can actually behead people as a dual wielder. To just come off like popping a daisy head. Interesting. I don't know that I've ever done that. Actually, I think we could just go straight down again, huh? Whee! I mean, I do like how the rock bits go flying. What I don't like is the fact that they stick around for so long and do that sort of thing. They got extra collision on surfaces, but you can just walk right through them. Like, they don't render the debris, actually. They just gives Ark Survival evolved potato graphics and bad physics. I'm not sure I follow that sentence structure. Did you mean to put a word vibes in there somewhere? Oh, the rock's exploding. Let's see. Let's do 2. Okay, that's not right. Should have been okay. I thought that might be what was happening. Okay, let's try a 1 meter. Oh, that's helpful. Not. Okay, I think that's the best we're going to do. We'll do 2. Actually, looks like we're going to need to do 4. Yeah, just like that. That's what I was going for. Legacy Arc SE was horrible for potato rock fragments. Exploding like they get hit with explosives, even if it was just a pickaxe. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to do, I think, a half foundation here, right here. Okay, so we'll come down from here, then come down from here. And then take a hard right, maybe. Really wish they would have included a way to get rid of these guys. But I don't think they're going to be in the way overly much. Okay. I think another half. Whee! Oh, there we go. I was wondering when that was going to happen. But we just collected a bunch so we can use it to make ourselves some solid biofuel to fuel our chainsaw. You know, I was thinking about giving the chainsaw a name just because, for fun. I was thinking about calling it Texas. And then next time I go deforesting, I can call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Bit obvious, I know. Love the original TCM fan new releases. I have not seen any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. I do not do horror. And while in this day, today, TCM is probably mild by comparison to stuff put out today. No. Wow, we have a whole 3 people watching on YouTube right now, Mojo. Still holds up pretty well compared to today's stuff. Well, it's good, I guess. Yeah, but still, 3 is better than what I'm used to seeing over there, which is you, just you. Let's see, I think I needed to, oops. Where do we want to descend from over here? I think we're going to descend on this side. Whoops. Yeah, so we need to figure out... this area is flat enough. We might be able to get away with it too. Maybe not. Or we need to get a 1. It's more cost effective to do these vertically until we get to the height we want. Move, please. Move, please. Move. Shoo. Alright, can we... I think the answer is yes, we can descend from right here. Yeah, I think that's the best place to descend. I know, but he was in the way. Hey, at least I didn't go full... what's the word? I forget what the word is for when you go... I didn't try and take him out. I didn't even smack him. I just threatened him. It's a guy, construction crew coming through like Hitchhiker's Guide. I actually understand that reference. Oh, come on. Oh, do you remember a while ago we were talking about X-Files? I made a discovery today that might actually be more common knowledge than I think it was. But do you remember the spin-off series, The Lone Gunman? Well, I discovered there's a spin-off series called The Lone Gunman. It didn't do so well. Got canceled after only 13 episodes. Sorry, let me type it for you. If I can get over to the YouTube chat. There we go. Well, they tried. It failed. It flopped. I think it was more Fox's fault than it was the show. Because after the X-Files, it seemed like Fox had developed a aversion to sci-fi. Ah, doggone it. I mean, they made a bunch of sci-fi shows, but they killed all of them. The only reason the X-Files lasted as long as it did was because it was one of their pilot series. Pilot for the network is what I mean. They didn't have... The X-Files came about because they were looking for content to put on their brand new network. And they took a risk with the X-Files, and it was a risk that they didn't seem to want to repeat once they decided they'd made it, because every other sci-fi series to come out on Fox since the X-Files has been unceremoniously canceled just when they were getting good. But The Lone Gunman was one of those spin-off series. Let's see, that rock's gonna be in the way. And it, like I said, it got unceremoniously canceled after only 13 episodes. Do I want to try and go over the rock or just around it? We're going to have to do both because it's not going to be tall enough. But I found out some interesting little trivia when I was looking at the Lone Gunman episodes. Oops, I need to charge my phone. So, the pilot episode of the new season, or of the new series, aired in, we'll say, March 2001. And it, like the Lone Gunman and the X-Files series, but I couldn't really see that being a standalone series. I would argue it never got a chance, but at the same time, I can also see why there'd be doubt as to its success, because it was a niche of a niche. I think I'm going to have to do too tall just because. It was a niche series based off of a niche series, and if it had been given a chance to find its legs, it might have done okay. But what I'm talking about is the pilot episode of the new show. Aired in March 2001. And proposed that government agents had made a plot to, and I'll be delicate here because I don't know my audience. They had decided they were going to conspire to create a certain tragedy. And 6 months later, said tragedy became reality. If you know, you know, which pretty much everyone here should know. But I read that and my mind was... I was like, oh, that. Let's see, let's get this rigged up and then we'll clear some space. Okay, so there's that. Whoopsie. Now we need to remember we're doing 2 lanes here. 2 conveyor belts. All the way down. Which would explain low viewership despite positive reviews. Yeah, like it was well-established, well-liked characters from a well-liked television show. I mean, when I found out about it, I watched as many of them as I could actually be on time for. I think Fox had this thing where if they didn't want a series to do well, they'd change the time slot. Also, I did not know this, but apparently Friday night was actually supposed to be the night for the time slot you go to kill a show. Like if you didn't have confidence in its viewership, Friday night was the time slot that you put it in. I don't know why why that is, because X-Files was famously on Friday night. I can't remember if they moved it to another night once it was doing well or not. I'll have to go look. That might be it. Like, I had no life, so... That's when some of my favorite shows were on television. Although I think Star Trek was mainly Saturdays. Oh, that explains it, yeah. Which should also be not a surprise that I was home at on those nights. I mean, have you met me? What about this makes you think I did any sports? Or would make you think I'd do sports? Did sports. Oh, I'm going out the wrong way. Actually, that's going to be a problem. I don't think that's gonna do, because if this one's gonna go here, yeah, this one would then have to go here, which means this would not. Yeah, it would have to do that. So that's not going to work. I might have to do something a little bit more drastic. Oops, I think I just deleted the foundation. I didn't mean to delete that. Yep, I did. 2 of them, in fact. But, so anyways, as I was saying, sci-fi is well known for predicting the future, but I'm pretty sure this is one future that they were like, oops. Considering what happened 6 months later. What some argue is why you don't find the show on any streaming service. But it is on YouTube right now. I may end up going and watching it. When I get to the appropriate point in the X-Files. Oh no, that's too tall. The cable's not high enough. Dang it. Actually, I got an idea. We'll use a temporary splitter for measurement. Actually, that should have been a merger. And let's see if we can rig up old Stumpy. Well, that's not going to be helpful. Alright, so we need to put a, I think it's going to have to go there. Yep. And we could just do this one like this, but I don't like the look of that slope. I guess we could do this. That's a better slope. Okay, so then what we're going to do is... Excuse me. Oh, shoot. I think I may need to put this out a little bit further. No, I will be okay. Wow, that's 2 in one stream. Thank you, Mojo. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to stack these. And we're going to send them down vertical like. Oops, we only want one. Thank you very much. So we're going to put one elevator here down, and then we're going to put the next elevator over in front of or on top of the first one and send it down. I think that'll work, because then we're also going to like stagger it, so they're not both going to go all the way down. The outer layer is going to stop at one level above the other one, so we'll just continue the stacked conveyor all the way down like that, if you can see it. I'm probably not going to get to show you the end result tonight, but I should be able to finish it up, and then I can show it off Wednesday. Or I might take pictures and put it on my server. I've been thinking I want to try and put a little bit more, or interact a little bit more with the Discord server. Drop some satisfactory, share my work in satisfactory. That's the way I want to present that word. And that would be, that way you can see more progress as I go. That way if I forget to show off something later, I can... It's not coming completely out of the blue. Okay. I think that is... Whoops. Okay. Math. Man, 6th graders can be such trolls. I did chicken made of nuclear waste in only 5 minutes to shower. Review on an educational campground about the outdoors. That's actually kind of funny. The fact that they had the imagination to say chicken made of nuclear waste. Alright, can I do this? I don't think it's gonna work right. See, I think I'm looking at something, doing something like this, but I don't think... I think the elevator components are gonna clip. So I may have to rig up another line of these temporarily to get that stuck out as far as I need it. Like about there. Delete this one so it doesn't actually go to that guy. That's better. I think that'll look more acceptable, and then it'll go to about there. It will actually give it its own set of support. Like that. And then that's how I picture it going all the way down. There's 2 layers. All the way down to the bottom. And then that will be how we connect the Alumina output here with the processing, with the construction of the components down there. Now, before I get too cray-cray, yes, I did actually, Mojo. And I'm not sure where I'm going to use it, or if I'm going to need to use it anywhere at the moment. One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to check my power load. So power grid A, that's going to be the bauxite and all of those refineries. Max consumption of 300 watt. That might change because I think I've got some overclocking. Maybe it's just underclocking going on over there. Actually, going to be 392 plus 92. That's over 1,000. So yeah, we're under budget. We're good to go. I'll try our steel power died, but I think we're okay. May have to go redistribute the biomass because I'm pretty sure there's enough. It just may need redistributed to burn away the excess before we hook up to power. Also, I was thinking about like how we do the fuel. Stop highlighting things. Whatever. So there's all this. I was looking at it. There's all these oil slicks over here, and especially in this area. It's not completely flat, but there's a lot of flat space over here. So I was thinking I could rig up like a whole bunch of fuel generators up here, because there isn't really much in the way of other types of resources. So I could do like a massive multi-gigawatt fuel power plant up here to power everything. Because like I said, I don't think these geysers are going to do me for like the particle accelerator and whatnot, which is the next phase problem. But just I'm looking at options. I'm thinking over here it's probably going to be, I'm going to probably rebuild this over here as my rubber plant, or Maybe this will be only plastics. Who knows? Once I get into phase 5, I'll start utilizing the blue crater more. But do you have to use... So interesting. So fun fact with the rubber is I can convert. So the byproduct of rubber is heavy oil residue, which I can use a refinery or 7, however many it takes, to convert that to fuel. So we could also have a smaller fuel generator array over here. So rubber and plastic both have recipes for heavy oil residue. And like I said, heavy oil residue can be converted into fuel, and then we just burn it off. But, you're right. There's also... So if I go into here, fuel... The conversion, the oil to fuel has a byproduct of polymer resin. Fortunately, the polymer resin, there are recipes for converting it into plastic or rubber. And then we could just sink that. We can just dump it into an awesome sink. There's a missed opportunity to make machine grease out of the oil residue for drones to do maintenance on the machinery. What? For drones to do the that's interesting. I don't know if they have the because that's a major mechanic they'd have to work into the game. Glad there isn't maintenance repairs, but that would have been a cool use for the oil. Yeah. Actually, you're right. But yeah, so anyways, the polymer resin can be made into plastic or rubber. And so we can have a secondary store for rubber and plastic. So like we could have one plant. So like our fuel generator mega factory could have byproducts of plastic and rubber that are fed or that feed into the dimensional depot cloud. And that's what supplies us when we're building stuff. And then the main rubber / plastic factory can power itself using the byproduct. So that's where we would ship stuff out of. We don't need to worry about like setting aside some from that particular plant for cloud storage. And like I said, it could with the residue, it could that particular plant could actually power itself. Wouldn't necessarily be reliable, but I mean, we'd have to build it in such a way that we would have to build enough factories with enough heavy residue output to be able to constantly fuel the generators. But the nice thing is that the fuel does not have a so if you go from heavy oil residue to fuel, there's no byproduct. So it's super handy. The only other thing that I don't know about yet is like turbo fuel, because I'm going to need turbo fuel soon. And I'll also need to figure out the rocket fuel bit. The only thing that I was looking at this, and this is where I had my fuel plant before, or my turbo fuel plant before. And it came in handy because we had coal and sulfur right there. But in order to make rocket fuel, we need to have nitric acid as well. And there's no nitric acid around here that we can pump. We'd have to, like, I think the closest nitric acid is, yeah, it's down here, bottom center. We'd have to figure out a way to pipe it all the way up there, which is doable. I mean, it's roughly flat terrain, so it's easy to do. No large humps or mountain ranges to go over. But what I was going to do first was I was going to look around and see if there were any nitro geysers near oil plants that had sulfur nearby as well. And just from a cursory glance around, I'm not seeing any. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of nitrogen gas to begin with on this map. Stop highlighting stuff. So if we go boop, then there's only like, I'm only seeing 3 spots, and they're on the bottom right hand corner of the map. And so like down here, we got 1, 2, 3, and none of them are near sulfur. I mean, this one is sort of near sulfur. So sulfur coal. So actually, down here might be. I've actually got one of these tapped for something or other. I think that might just be. I think I might have that tapped just to supply myself with sulfur, but I'd have to go look. So yeah, I'm thinking we might actually be able to pull off turbo fuel down here or rocket fuel down here, because we got oil. We'd have to pump it around from this way, or we can make it like down there. I don't know. We'll see. There are possibilities. There aren't any convenient possibilities, but then where would the challenge of this game be? All right. So back to what I was working on. I'm actually going to end the stream here. I'll try and take pictures and put it up on Discord. Might also drop them on YouTube for people to look at. Since we got some people on YouTube watching, or some extra people on YouTube watching. So, and then one more time, no stream tomorrow night because things are happening. I'll be back on Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time for more Satisfactory gameplay with Satisfactory. And then I'll be on Lagging Out's channel Thursday night for more Satisfactory. But until then, thank you all for watching and hanging out in the chat. Don't forget to hit the likes and or the subscribes on the YouTubes or the follows on the Twitches. Until next time, enjoy Satisfactory, fair winds and fun gaming, y'all. Bye.